Basketball fans, today on the Hangout, we break down the Eastern Conference playoffs. Your boy LeBron James trying to take his Cavs back to the top of the hill. On the Western Conference side of things, Chef Curry with the pot trying to take his Golden State Warriors to the Western Conference Finals. They got the Pellies first. And your Toronto Raptors wrapped up the regular season with a franchise record 49 wins. Up next for them, the Wizards. This is Hangout. Basketball fans, 82 games later, we are ready for the playoffs. This is the Hangout. I am Akil Augustine, your home for talking hoops. And this week we have a very special panel. And it's not because Dan Gladman's here, because he's always here. I think do you pay rent for that chair?
I'm just here to fill up this chair. That's it. They couldn't get anyone else.
We have my man Dwayne Sweets Watson's partner in crime on TSN Radio One-on-One. This is Will of the Will and Dwayne Show. What up, Will? All right, the crowd's cheering, of course, for Will. And the next, I'm very thankful we do this show because every once in a while we get to have someone very significant, very important in the basketball world, and for us Toronto Raptors fans. I booed this guy the day he was drafted by the Toronto Raptors, but I cheered for him every day he played for the Raptors. It is an honor and a pleasure. Damon, don't leave me hanging. Come on, babe. Hey, good looking out. Thank you for coming.
I'm sensitive.
Don't worry. I ain't trying to hurt no feelings. All right, let's jump into it, guys. The playoffs are here. The Toronto Raptors, up and down season, but they got the 49 wins that no team in this franchise has ever gotten. So the real question here now with the matchup coming with the Wizards is, first off, let's talk about DeMar DeRozan. He was kind of a question mark with the injury at the beginning of the year. Damon, I'll start with you. But he's shown the biggest growth. He's had the biggest leap of any Toronto Raptor. How impressed are you with what he's been able to do with his game? Because he was an all-star last year.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't get injured, he probably would have been an all-star again this year. But for me, especially last night's game, watching him in person, you know, it was interesting because television doesn't do a lot of these guys justice. And I told a lot of them that DeMar is real smooth. You know, he's real smooth in his approach. He really makes the game look easy. You know, and he looks like he has another notch he can take it up to.
Okay, all right. Now, since we have you here, I want a very special conversation to take place. Dan, we'll start with you. Talking greatest Raptor point guards of all time, top 5, dead or alive. Who you got?
I got to come up with 5 right now.
Well, they're probably all alive.
Well, it's Damon, Jose Calderon, Kyle Lowry, and Alvin Williams. Those are the 4 right there for me.
The interesting one is 5. Who are you putting at that 5 spot? You still got guys.
5.
Wait.
PJ Ford.
You know, I don't know.
He was pretty good in a couple playoff years.
I'm going to say, because of what Kyle has done this year, is no disrespect to Damon Stoudamire, that Kyle Lowry is number 1. I would say that Damon's number 2, Alvin Williams
Shots fired.
Number 3. Jose Manuel Calderon is number 4, edging me out, and of course, Rod Strickland.
You're putting Rod Strickland. Okay, all right.
I could have put Rafer Alston on there.
I would have
pretty good too.
I'm just saying.
I would have given it to him on his street ball career alone. But let's talk about Kyle Lowry, Damon. You were a point guard for this franchise. Yeah. He's done it all this year. Very impressive with what he's been able to do with his game. And it's very rare when you see a guy blossom into that role of a superstar point guard and not just come in as one.
Right. Yeah, you know, Kyle, I played with him. I played with him in Memphis, coached him in Memphis, but he's a guy that always played with a chip on his shoulder. He always played like he had something to prove. And to be honest with you, before he got here, that he did have to do that. You know, he got drafted in Memphis, you know, and the next year they draft Mike Conley. You know, they trade Kyle, they keep Mike Conley. You know, he goes to Houston. You know, he does what looks like a good job, but then they get rid of him too. You know, and he finally found a home here, and so I think that he paid the city back by having this year that he had this season, you know what I mean? But you can see this thing building up. You know, he's a guy that works, he works, and, you know, he's been great this year.
All right, now for the Toronto Raptors, they got Paul Pierce, the Wizards. They're sick and tired of seeing Paul Pierce. DeMar says, shoot, bring it on, right? But let's talk about it. These Raptors will be in tough. You always got to get contributions from your bench. Who is going to be the X factor, Will Strickland, for this Toronto Raptors group? You got Vasquez, you got James Johnson and his red hair. Who's going to be the guy that you don't expect, like the Lowrys and the DeRozans, that's going to come and help this team?
Well, I think all 3 of those guys that you just named are going to have to be key factors off the bench. In particular, Gravis. I think he didn't have a great year this season, to me, Tyler's come on late in the starting role. So, and of course, James Johnson up and down every day. You don't know what he's going to do or if he's going to be in the lineup. So they all are key to what they do in the playoffs.
Dr. Gladman, what is the key matchup in this series?
Well, the key matchup is going to be Lou Williams
versus
and whoever's coming off the bench in Washington, because I think that the Raptors have the depth advantage. Starting 5 versus starting 5, I think it's 50-50. It's a pick-em.
So it's Lou Will versus Rasul Butler, it looks like, over here.
Well, Lou Will is the difference for what the Raptors have this year as to what they did not have last year.
All right, well, now it's time to document your takes. Damon, we'll start with you. Raptors, Wizards, who wins, how many games? Yeah, we put you on the spot.
I'm gonna touch something first. I don't think it's an X factor in the playoffs. In my experience of being in the playoffs, you need your stars to be stars. Whoever stars is the best stars in the series. That's who's winning the series.
Okay, we're getting schooled here by Damon.
That's who's winning the series. Whoever has the best player in this series, they're winning the series.
Okay, all right.
I'll go with the Raptors in 6.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Raptors in 6. Will Strickland, you're on the spot.
I'm there as well. Raptors in 6. Mostly because no, I did look at his paper, but you know the Wizards are one of the oldest teams in the league. Plus, they run the worst
Isn't that why you
offense in
should
the
be
league
cheering
too.
for them?
No, that's not why.
Elementary school with all these.
I did actually. We had like little chalkboard things, but whatever the case might be, I think that the Wizards are too old. I don't think that Nene and Gortat have played well. They've been inconsistent. Injuries to Bradley Beal. So the Raptors are just a better team, and you can't name 2 people off their bench. Otto Porter Jr. Stop playing.
Dan Gladman.
I got the Raptors, but I think it's going to take 7 games, and I think you're going to see a really contentious series. Probably at least 4 or 5 of these games are going to be decided by under 3 points.
All right, 3 overtime games for me. Someone whispered that in my ear, and I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. 3 overtime games, 7-game series. But that does it for the first block, the Raptors Roundup here on the Hangout. We got Damon Stoudamire in the house, but on the other side of the break, we got to talk about the boys in the land, King James and his crew trying to make it to the finals. We'll be back on Hangout.